The other thing, of course, as well, is where Obi-Wan says, "I sense a disturbance in the Force." Where they,
Yeah, when Alderaan gets blown up.
exactly, and again, is that due to coupling of Obi-Wan somehow has got a greater degree of sensitivity to this universal force due to this universal entanglement.
Don't they say I know it's not possible to communicate with entanglement, but is it not an instant thing?
It is. It's absolutely in it. But
So if a planet got blown up,
no, but it doesn't quite work like that. The important thing is that you can't beat the speed of light. Information is not transmitted. There's what happens is we say, if we want to use one interpretation of quantum mechanics, you've got a particle here. There's one large wave function that describes them. As soon as you make a measurement on this one indeed, as you say, Brady, responds instantaneously, but no information is transmitted because this one might be, have one particular state. Instantaneously when you measure this that this one's going to be in the opposing state. So there's no information transmitted.
Well, no information was transmitted to Obi-Wan. He just knew something was not quite right.
Well, I don't know. It depends on your definition of information. Knowing something is not quite right is probably some degree of information, isn't it?
Do you enjoy Star Wars films?
I do, yes.
Why?
Oh, it's interesting because, I enjoy, I guess, the harder end of science fiction sometimes. I'm a big Asimov fan. Ian Banks, I'm a huge fan of. Who sadly passed away not so long ago. Star Wars is more obviously fantasy, but the first movie I went to see was Star Wars. I was a huge fan. Went to see it quite a few times as a kid. I was 9 years old when it first came out. So yeah, who isn't a Star Wars fan?
Does Star Wars do you good? Like, do you think it has helped science and physics and
Oh, absolutely. Just and science fiction in general, and Doctor Who. I'm a huge Doctor Who fan. Just in terms of putting the wonders of the universe, putting the awe, the beauty of the universe into sort of like a narrative or story. Yeah, it does. For physics, it's exceptionally important. So many, and Star Trek, of course. So many physicists inspired to go into physics because of Star Trek, Star Wars type of stuff.
You're always very anti misinformation being put into society, though, and obviously some science fiction, particularly soft touch stuff like Star Wars.
Yeah.
Do you not
No. I get a bit frustrated by this. I must admit. I think I can see where you're going, Brady. There's a certain suspension of disbelief. It winds me up just a little bit when people complain. Oh, you can hear the explosions in space. We've got bloody Wookiees and Ewoks. Just let it go. Let it go. Sometimes the story has to win out over the. If everything were completely rigid and had to follow exactly, the laws of physics, it would make for fairly boring films, wouldn't it?
If you had the Force, you had the power of the Force. You were a Jedi, and you were the only Jedi.
Oh, the first thing I control is your mind. That would be the very first thing.
What would you do?
Let me see. What would I do to